coaches, freelancers, agency owners, and consultants. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get a lot of clients and build a $30,000 per month high-ticket business using your skills, knowledge, and expertise. And I know this because I specialize in creating high-ticket businesses and digital businesses. And I feel confident talking about this because last year we collected more than $360,000 using the exact framework, the OCI framework that I'm going to walk you through. And if you discount $360,000 back by 12 months, you exactly get $30,000 a month. So it's not just a video that's going to tell you how to get $30,000 a month one time, but how we've been consistently doing it over 1 year for one of our clients, and I built out the entire system and the framework for him. I'm going to use the framework, what I call the OCI, and this is a step-by-step method, and by the end of this video, you're going to be able to build it out yourself, understand how to build a scalable online business, whether you're a coach, freelancer, agency owner, or a consultant. So let's get started. The very first step of the OCI framework is the offer that you want to build out. Now, in the offer, when we start working with a client or start building out an offer, we always start with the research. With the research, there are 3 different types of research that I want you to do. First of all is the ICP. The ICP is the ideal client profile. You want to make sure that you know what are your ideal clients looking for, right? In order to know what your ideal client is looking for, you have to be mindful of what you're really good at. Because I tend to come across a lot of experts that don't really know what their true skills are. So I always ask you to go ahead and ask, what are your skills? What is it that you're really strong at? Why? You cannot bullshit your way around the online world. You have to have one critically good skill that you acquired that you want to resell or use in order to help others create a transformation or a result. And speaking of result, the next one is what kind of results or transformation can you get your clients when you're working with them. Obviously, if you're a fitness coach, you know what the result might be. It might be more flexibility, it might be weight loss. If you're a lawyer, you might win a litigation. If you're a reseller coaching other people how to sell on Amazon, that you're going to get them $10,000 months, and so on. You get the drill, right? So the first idea is understanding what you're really good at and understanding your ICP. Now, let me talk a little bit more about your ideal clients. Ideal clients are someone that have a pain point, and your skill is looking to solve that pain point for them. This pain point is quite critical because you have to understand why you're talking to that given client and why is it that they're looking for a solution. Usually it is found in the pain point and you're addressing that with your offer, but I will talk about it a little bit later. The second type of research you want to do is the product. When you're researching the product, you want to understand what is it that the market wants. Like, what is it that there is a demand for, or there's a big pain that you can solve with your knowledge, your skill, or your product. Once you understand what the market wants, you want to see what is available. You want to make sure that you understand the market, so you do market research. You go around, Google it, look at your competitors. You want to understand what kind of, go look around, look at what people are selling, look at how they're selling it, look at what is the angle they're communicating from, what's the strategy they're using, what are the delivery method that they're using in order to deliver that product. Next up that you want to look at is what pain point those products are solving out on the market. For example, one of our clients is a dance teacher, and he's not only teaching how to dance for people, but he realized that most of his clients have a very big issue with their self-confidence, and they come to learn to dance because they want to overcome the lack of self-confidence when they're dancing. So we put together a self-confidence with dancing offer for him, and it really solves a completely different pain point that most would think. So that's why it's very important for you to understand what the real pain point of your client is and where they want to get to. Now, the next question you want to ask is, what is the price point that those products are being sold for? We're talking about high-ticket businesses here. Now, obviously, you see a lot of courses on Udemy and all over the internet for $10, $15, $50, or $100, but a high-ticket offer, what really differentiates a high-ticket offer from a normal course is the level of involvement from your side, your company's or team's side, and the actual result and transformation you're getting your client. Meanwhile, a course is just a bunch of material they can, do it yourself, that they can go ahead and study themselves. But in this business model with the high ticket coaching or educational or service-based business model, you want to grab them by the hand and take them through the entire journey. And the next step before you can actually start creating your offer or product in the research part, you want to understand your competitors. Now, who are these people? What expertise do they have? How long have they been on the market? What results are they getting? What are they promising for your clients? What is the journey that they're actually taking their clients through? With these researches, you will understand what clients you're targeting, what products are out there on the market, and who are your competitors that you're facing against, because this is going to be very, very important for you to be able to come up with the product, the delivery method, the offer, and the communication that you need to sell this offer by. Next up, in the offer part, once you've done the research, you want to start designing your product. Now, the first step of designing your product is understanding what is the promise that you're making. This is basically the promise that will solve your client's problem. Right now, your clients are having a lot of questions, and you want to make sure that you get them to the so-called desired outcome, the result, the transformation. So what is the promise that you're providing your clients with? This part is quite important, because without a result, you're going to have a very hard time selling anything. And when we're talking about high-ticket programs and businesses, the way we design it is basically always designing the high-ticket program first. Now, this is the product ecosystem that we're using. High-ticket program or service first. Why? Once you have your entire program built out, understanding it, you have the frameworks, you have the delivery method, you have the coaching program, you have the calls, the high-ticket calls, you have the community. Then you understand the value that you're providing to your customers. Once you have the entire big picture, the big promise, the biggest promise and result and transformation you can create for your client, then you can go ahead and dissect it into what I call inside the product ecosystem, the mid-ticket or the low-ticket or front-end products, low-ticket and mid-ticket products. Now, having your offer created, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to explain it to you how to create the entire program in a second in this video. Once you have this, you understand the entire delivery method and the result that you're creating. In order to do that, in the high ticket, obviously you will have a bunch of different sections, processes, steps that you need to take your clients through. Now, everybody comes with a different set of pain points, problems, or understanding. So let's say if you're a fitness coach, you might get clients that have problem with nutrition. You might get people that have a back pain problem. You might have people that have a hard time gaining muscle or losing weight. Your high ticket program is going to touch up on every single one of these pain points and actually provide a result for it. But they will not get to your high ticket program before meeting you and understanding that you have a knowledge on all of those. Basically, that is how we dissect the high ticket program to low ticket lead magnets, courses, books, YouTube videos, and basically other content pieces that you're doing. So just to continue my fitness coaching example, basically you want to create a eat out guide so they know how to keep their calories in check. You want to create a stretching guide so they understand how to do their stretching. You want to create a course that basically teaches them on the movements of gaining muscle. And basically what happens as time passes and they spend more time with your content, with your brand, they will develop more and more trust, and you will develop more and more respect in their eyes because you know what you're talking about. And the psychology of creating this product ecosystem is that in the very beginning, you're always either helping them realize that they can do something, or you're starting to ascend them by solving their first problem. Like this set of products would solve their minor problems. That will lead them to have, a bigger problem. So you will have the next product out there solving their next problem, all the way to the very end where they will either have a problem with their mindset, either have problem with accountability, or either have problem with implementation. And basically, usually that is what the high ticket program is solving. Now, obviously, this is exactly how you're pricing it, right? Like in the front end, you have a lot of free products like lead magnets, YouTube videos, content, and then as you're ascending them to higher and higher products and more complex solutions, that's how you're basically increasing your price as well. And the reason you start with the highest ticket program or service is because you want to understand what is that actual promise that you can always deliver them at the very end. Once you know that, you can very confidently start speaking about this in the front end, so they know that you're the guy or you're the company or you're the person that can actually help them achieve their dream outcomes. Next up is going to be, once you understand the product ecosystem and what your promise is, then you're going to go ahead and really bring that ICP back that we talked about in the research part. The next up is again the ICP. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit in detail because it's quite relevant to understand who you're talking to. The reason why it's understand, you have to have the pain points, the struggles, and you want to understand what your target audience or your target client is going through. One of these programs that we built, we understood very specifically that this client is in a 9-to-5 but wants to create an online store specifically on Amazon. This was an Amazon offer. And we understood what situation they're in. We understood that they have approximately $5,000 to $7,000 individual income and around $8,000 to $10,000 household income. Usually are couples over 50 and they're afraid not having enough money for retirement. The entire communication angle, once you understand your high ticket coaching program and your promise, the entire communication angle will target those pain points in your content and in your communication so people understand that it's for them. And a lot of people actually neglect this point and they're not going into their ICPs, their client profiles, because they think that, oh, whatever, I'll just have this knowledge and I'm going to go ahead and put the offer out there. But you forget that the reason they buy high ticket, and by high ticket I mean $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 product, is because you're solving one of their biggest problems probably in their lives. The next part of creating your high ticket program, service, or education platform, whatever that might be, is the delivery method. Now, again, the delivery method is quite important for several reasons. A lot of coaches get stuck under $10,000 because all they do and all they think of is one-on-one calls. Now, obviously, it's amazing. You can get a lot of results for your clients when you're talking about one-on-one, but you understand that if I give you 30 more clients right now, you would suffer. You cannot actually fulfill the promise that we've created for your clients because it takes up way too much of your time, whether you're meeting up with them one-on-one, whether you're on Zoom calls, whether whatever else you do. Now, the next delivery method you can use is one-to-many. The one-to-many is usually when we're creating a productized service if you're an agency owner, or when we're creating a very scalable group coaching high-ticket offer. In this case, basically, you get people into a community and then a weekly group coaching call. It works very well, but what my really favorite is basically the hybrid of the two. And the way to use a hybrid delivery method is by using the Conveyor belt method. Let me explain. So the conveyor belt method essentially is understanding that you have your client at the starting point and you're going to design an offer 3 months, that is 12 weeks. So let's say week 1, week 2, week 3, ... week 10, week 11, and week 12. So what I mean by the conveyor method is everybody, since you understand what they're struggling with, they have to go through a process. It's just like a conveyor belt. You drop them in the very beginning at the start. And since you understand your ICPs, you understand what type of problems they might be struggling with and suffering with. So you're gonna go ahead and in the first week, you're going to provide them with the initial onboarding calls. You get them access to your video library or your video vault. You get them access to your frameworks. And usually you check in with them one-on-one. It's either you or one of your coaches that you train, because to build a 30K per month high ticket business, you can do it alone with a lot of automations and systems that I'm explaining. But if you want to go above 30 to 50, 100K months, then you will want to coach your coaches so they can actually deliver your knowledge to your audience. The main point of the conveyor belt method is once you start onboarding people, you take them through tasks you know they have to do, right? Week 1, week 2, they might do some tests. You take them through the quizzes, you populate the course videos, they go through the material by themselves, and then let's say week 2, you get them on a one-on-one call again. It doesn't mean that you have to talk to them every week one-on-one, but you create a task list for them and you dissect it into 12 different weeks. And then in the next 2 weeks, you might get them on the group coaching where they have to present their findings, their progress, their difficulties. You might bring them in a study group where they can share share what they've been going through, and then you might quiz them with something, and then you might go on another one-on-one with them, right? The point is that you're taking them from the start to the end on a very systematic basis, and since you understand who you're targeting, you're not the one changing your product for people so you can make an extra sale, but you have a system that you take all the people through, and you find and snipe the right type of audience that you need to be selling your product to and your coaching service or systems to, because you exactly understand what their pain points are and what results they're trying to get out of this. So this is what we call the Conveyor method. And the point of the Conveyor method is that if I write up a chart, is if you have maintenance on the left side and time on the right side with the result at the end, you want to make sure that from the beginning to the end, the level of maintenance drops on the client. Why? As time increases, the result increases, right? So results go up with time going up, and basically maintenance goes down with time going up. This is where you want to get to when you're designing a digital product, whether it's educational, whether it's service-based business. Next up in the product section, we have the actual program. Now, the program usually, again, whether it's a service-based or an educational program, consists of several different kind of segments. Now, one of them is always you have to have the entire framework that you're working with. Let's say I have a client that is a NLP coach, and in the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, if you know some of the lingo, big coaches use this, they have different kind of frameworks, both communication frameworks, neuro frameworks that they're teaching for their clients. If you're a fitness coach, you want to make sure that your clients understand the lingo, they understand how to do different kind of exercises. If you're a business coach, you want to make sure that your clients understand if they're having an LLC, an S corp, if they're registered as a solopreneur, how they're doing their taxes, right? There are different frameworks that you want to take them through. Once you have these frameworks in your mind, you want to go ahead and create a lot of sub-products from these, right? These can be PDF documents, guides that you actually use to coach your clients with. You want to make courses that walks people through the processes that you're creating. You want to make sure that you have different kind of questionnaires so they can fill it out and they actually understand themselves and their business, their body, depending on what you're doing a little bit more. And you want to have different kind of spreadsheets, trackers, so people can actually see the progress that they're making throughout your program. Now, once you have these, this is what I call deliverables basically. Throughout the program or the service that you're doing them, each week you can give them one of these tasks or deliverables for them to go through it, right? So essentially inside the program, you're coaching them, but the way you're coaching them is a scalable way. So you have pre-recorded material to give them, and it means that you can get 10, 20, 30 more clients in at the same time, because essentially you're tasking your clients based on the pre-recorded frameworks that you've come up with and you designed inside your service or your program. If you're not a coach or an educator, but you're an agency owner, these frameworks would be deliverable services, right? So you can productize your service the same way. For example, if you're a short form editor, then when your client comes in, you understand who they're targeting. So you ask them to fill out the form of their own ICP. Then you understand who's going to be recording the videos. Then you get them the camera set up, the microphones, you get them rehearse a script. Then you're gonna go and write the scripts. Maybe that's your service. You send them out and then they are recording the scripts. Then you make them upload the videos. Your editor is going to go ahead and edit those videos. You get the drill. So you systemize it step by step, and each of those systems, deliverables, frameworks, you basically pre-recorded, pre-created into different kind of deliverables. So when the time comes for your client, you can just easily deliver it or fulfill it for them. When we're talking about high-ticket clients and high-ticket programs or services, one of the main elements that your clients and customers are actually buying is vicinity, the closeness, the accountability, the access to you or your coaches. So usually the higher the price and the ticket of that given service, the more access, the more communication, the more accountability people get from you and your company. So on top of delivering the frameworks and the deliverables, you want to have a system that communicates with your clients daily, weekly, to make sure that you're not only delivering those frameworks, but your clients are actually taking advantage and taking action on it. And it's very important because, they paid a lot of money for you. So they want to make sure that they get the results, but sometimes they're lacking. They're going to be lazy. There's a reason why they haven't done it yet, unless you're like a lawyer or like a therapist. Obviously, they couldn't do it. But if you're a service provider, most of the ideas and most of the knowledge is out here in YouTube. So they could really go and watch it, but they just do not have the drive inside of them. So you're also selling the accountability and a very good communication to them to make sure that they're actually getting the things done. Not only they paid a lot of money for it, but they haven't done it before, so you want to keep them accountable. All right, so after the program, this is the base product, basically, how you're creating your high-ticket service or product in general. The next one inside the offer are the bonuses. An offer has to be irresistible, and usually people understand what they're getting inside the program or the service, but if you stack it with a lot of bonuses, that's what makes them perceive your entire service or program even higher than what it is. That's what makes it irresistible. Now, a really good way to come up with bonuses is understanding, again, your ICP and understanding their objections. For example, again, let me go with the fitness coach. If the objection of your client is that, oh my God, I've tried every different method, but it didn't use, then you can come up with the ebook on the formula and the step-by-step process why your program works, and they can actually logically understand it, not just emotionally go into the sale. One of the business offers that we created for one of my clients, a big objection was that, oh, I don't know where to source the products from. It was a reselling coaching program where they had to resell, or they built an online business with physical products and they had to resell items. So one of the bonuses that we provided was a source list and a supplier list for them. We literally eliminated the objection just with the bonus that we provided next to the program. Another objection is usually a price point, or can I do this? Will this work for me? And a very good bonus is step-by-step case studies on how other people used this program to get to the desired outcome, whatever your big promise is inside your high-ticket program. So that's pretty much all about the bonuses. You want to stack bonuses, and you want to make sure that you put a dollar value next to your bonuses, because it's quite valuable. You can even resell it as a part of your front-end items or mid-ticket items, but here you're providing them everything for free next to the program, which makes your offer more and more irresistible, or the perceived value of your program a lot higher. Next one after the bonuses that we're going to talk about is going to be the testimonials, right? This is the proof that what you do and what you provide works, right? Like, you want to get Hollywood level testimonials from your clients or from people that you've worked before. Now, obviously, very understandable why this works, but think about Amazon. If you go on Amazon and you're buying a product, what is the first thing you're going to check on that product? How many star reviews does that given product have? Basically, the testimonials are going to be the 5-star reviews of your offer, of your entire product. So how do we get testimonials? The best way to do it is that to reach out to clients that you've already worked with and get them on a Zoom call and basically ask a few questions. Basically, really good questions to ask to get high-level testimonials is that, what results did we get? What fears or objections did you have before starting working with us? How was the process? What did we take you through? Basically, these questions pre-frame the answers for your clients to answer it in a way that helps your future clients overcome the objections. Once you're asking what were the fears or objections before working with us, they're going to touch on different kind of objections that your future clients are facing. But once you have someone else answering that for them, that gives you credibility like none other, right? Once you talk about the results or outcomes, obviously for your future client, that is the outcome, that's the result, that's the transformation they're looking for. So it's again giving more and more proof that your offer, product, and your method works beautifully. Now, regarding the process, it just basically gets them more and more ingrained and more confident in working with you. So these are some of the really good ways to get a testimonials. Now, obviously, not everybody's gonna jump on a Zoom call with you, but well, most of the happy clients do. If you want to check out some of my testimonials or some of the testimonials that we got, I have an entire client case study playlist on my YouTube, and I really like to put out there what the clients are saying about us. And we're making quite a lot of money for our clients, so they're very happy to talk about it. Several of our clients made $20, $30, $40, $60,000 in the first month working with us, and several of them went on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars with the programs that we're creating or the businesses that we're running for them. In case you cannot get people on a Zoom call, you can literally just message them on WhatsApp, on iMessage, on Messenger, or any kind of messaging platform, on email, and ask them that, can you help me? I'm trying to get a testimonial, or you upfront tell them and ask a few questions. The point is that you get the feedback that you can later screenshot or quote. Always ask for their permission to make sure that they're okay to give it to you, because otherwise it wouldn't be too ethical. All right, so with this, we came to the end of the offer section. This is basically how you want to think of the research and the products. You want to make sure that you get a big promise with your product when it comes to creating a great offer. You understand your ICP, your ideal client profile, so you know how to target them and how to communicate with them. You understand what the delivery method is to make sure that you're making your program or service scalable. You do not want to get stuck in the one-on-one Zoom meetings long term. Everybody starts out that way, that's fine. But after a while, you realize that, hey, I have recurring questions that I could just make a video for, and those questions would not be asked, right? That's the point of the program deliverables and how you set up the conveyor method inside the program. And obviously, getting bonuses and testimonials will help you make the initial sales for your program and basically help people overcome the value question. Does it worth it to get into this program? Second part of our framework is the C, which is basically stands for content. We can also say be seen, or basically this is the touch point with your audience. Now, within this part, the first big category that we're going to talk about is the actual content. Now, it's super important in the world we live in. Everything and everybody is on social media, and if your business is not on social media, then you're pretty much non-existent. Think about how you search for things online, right? You go and ask YouTube, Google, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and start clicking. What are you reading? How are you educating yourself? By reading the content that has been posted by an authority, a company, or anybody that writes on the specific topic that you're interested in. One of the best performing content pieces are videos. So let's dive into videos. Videos are very easy to consume, and a lot of people are on Instagram, on YouTube. As a matter of fact, billions of people are going through YouTube and Instagram every single month. Billions with a B. That means that a significant percentage of the entire world is on there. Now, what I want you to understand that these platforms are not only just for wasting time, right? People are going on there to get information, to learn, to study, to connect. But what's very, very important, that they're also some of the biggest search engines of the world. Just think about it, how many times you go on Google or YouTube and type in a specific question regarding your problem that you have. I do that a lot, and I know a lot of people do that a lot. The question is, do you have content answering the questions of your clients? So if your client goes online and types in the question, will your company and brand come up as the answer provider or not? If it's not, then it's time to change. If it's yes, then it's time to double down, baby. All right, let's talk about videos. So videos, we can talk about short form and long form videos. Short form videos are on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, and them are start using them too. And there are long form videos. Long form video is like the one you're watching right now, mainly on YouTube, but you can kind of talk about Twitch or streaming platforms as well, because there are some creators out there streaming 24/7. It's kind of crazy. But as a business owner, I understand you do not have time for that, and that's not what you're looking for. So let's talk about the two main video types. You're going to want to create short form videos and post short form videos, because that has the potential to not only go viral, but that has the potential to get you more audience. Because the way platforms work, it's unreal how algorithms work, right? Like, you had an idea about either creating a high-ticket program or getting clients, and now you're here watching this YouTube video. Why? Because the algorithm knows the type of videos that I make and the type of problems you have. Why? Because you're on your phone and computer all the time. Or even if you're not, they're listening to you and they know what you're thinking about. Or if you're not, your spouse, your children is, and basically you live in the same household as them, and your phones are connected to each other, and they know that you also hear about those same problem. So they're going to serve you those type of ads, videos, short and long form material. Now, quickly, the way you create short form videos, and this is going to be just a quick guide. I will have several other videos explaining the process of short form videos. Is basically you want to create a video that hooks people in. So the beginning is something which has a pattern interrupt, the basically, huh? This is what you want to get out of your audience, just to have a little bit of pattern interrupt. Like they're scrolling on the phone and basically you just want them to get hooked, like, huh, what is that? And they stop, right? Once you hook them in, you're going to want to give them a little bit of intro of the story, that what that video is about, so they are actually interested to see what you're about to show them. Then after the intro, you're going to give them the context, the value, the problem, the realization, the conclusion. And then once you have the value, you're going to give them a call to action. This is the universal framework of creating a short form video. Obviously, you can get a lot more granular, but in this video, I'm not going to go into a lot of granular stuff about every single subtopic that we're talking about. But if you go and binge watch my content, reach out or look at some of my materials, that you will learn a lot more granular step-by-step process. Or if you decide to come and work with us, then obviously we walk you through the entire process and set up your business the way that it can generate you quite a lot of money and get you clients. So that's about short form videos. You want to be consistent with videos. The algorithms favor consistency. So whether you're posting on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whichever of these platforms, you want to get consistent. If consistency means for you once a week, then just do it once a week. If it means once a day, then do it once a day. Be consistent. Don't just post 3 times a week and then go missing for 3 weeks, because the algorithm's gonna see that you're not consistently showing up and it's going to punish you. So just be consistent and start creating content consistently. Now, as short form videos is getting more views for you, long form videos are the ones that are actually nurturing. Like imagine you're spending time with me right here, going through the entire framework, how I'm building $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month businesses, and I'm nurturing you. I'm teaching you something. You're getting educated and I'm gaining trust from you and you're gaining knowledge from me. It's a win-win. They say that back in the time, a customer required 7 touch points before they were ready to buy from a company or a person. Now it's 7 hours spent together. Obviously, you're not spending 7 hours with your customers before they buy, but are you allowing them to spend 7 hours with you online? That's the question. Like, do you even have 7 hours of content posted online so they can go and gain the trust, gain the respect, understand what you do, and actually be ready to pull the trigger and purchase any of your services and products? If you do not, then obviously you know what to do. Put out more and more content. Next up, after the video content, what we have is email content. Now, very, very important that for you to understand that if you look at the content funnel, basically you have the rented audience, anything that are on social platforms, and then you have the owned audience, which is on your email, and then obviously you have the paying audience, the ones that you're sold to. Those are the hot, real audience that actually bought your product. Now, we talked about the videos. All of those are rented audience. Those people are scrolling through, watching, but if you get canceled or anything happens to your social accounts, basically you're done, right? No more audience. So you want to make sure that you have email and you're capturing email addresses. Now, when it comes to email addresses, you want to make sure, or like email strategy in general, first of all, you want to have a general email capture page. I'll talk about that later in the funnels and the infrastructure section, but you want to have is an email strategy. Now, one of the strategies when it comes to email is having a welcome sequence. You want to get people to sign up to your email. You want to have an automated email sequence going out to your audience that basically gets them more familiar with who you are, what problems you're solving for them, and how you're helping them, and so on, right? These can be automated. I recommend this to be minimum 5 to 10 days of automated email sequence or onboarding sequence, they also call it. The reason why is because once somebody signs up, you don't have to think about it, right? The longer, the better. Like the aim, you want to have a year-long automated onboarding email sequence, so people that actually get in touch with you are being nurtured for an entire year, right? But just get started with 5. Now, what's really cool that if you're actually thinking about your content ecosystem with the videos, with the emails, you can just go ahead and add a YouTube video link in here and say that, hey, I actually work with a lot of clients that have XYZ problems and I've created a video about it that might be very helpful for you. Or a couple of days later, you can do again like, hey, I'm not sure if I actually told you my origin story. Go ahead and watch it because it's going to be quite eye-opening what I've been through just to be at that place to help you solve XYZ. So that's the email sequence that you must have on. It's an onboarding email sequence. Once you have that onboarding email sequence, then you want to make sure that you have a weekly newsletter. The weekly newsletter basically goes out every week, again, minimum one time. So you're in front of people. And imagine how many times have you forgot someone or a company just to come back to your Gmail account or email account and see their names pop up and be like, oh, wait a second, I actually wanted to check out this, and boom, suddenly you're back in. So it's just a reminder. They not might open your emails, but they see your name. So subconsciously, they will know you exist, and they will know when they have that given problem that they know you're solving, when they're ready, they will come to you. If you do not have the emails, they will go to someone else that actually sending them emails. So be mindful of that. Next up in the content part, we're going to talk about something that's a bit more strategic, and it's content, but not everybody thinks of it as content. It's the lead magnets, right? Lead magnets are products, basically, like parts of your programs, part of your product ecosystem. But again, it's content that you're putting out there to provide value for your people or for your customers to make sure that they gain trust and you gain respect from them. So when it comes to creating lead magnets, as we previously talked about in the program section, you want to solve problems that they have in the beginning of their journey, right? Like a lead magnet solves the first step of problem, whether it's their mindset, can I do this? Will this work for me? Or give them the first solution just for them to realize there's a bigger problem that you can later solve with your front-end products or mid-ticket products and ascend them in your product ecosystem. Think of lead magnets are consistently generated content pieces, PDFs, guides, trackers, ebooks, and so on, because you want to make sure that they're constantly receiving value from your company or from your brand. Next up in the content section, I have networking. Now, I was 25 years old when I got asked by TEDx to have a speech about strategic networking. So I'm very big on networking. Whenever you will meet me in real life, you'll understand that I have this energy that I can walk up to anyone and actually kind of dig in and ask great questions and understand where they're coming from and what are some of the problems they're facing. But people tend to overlook this part. Like once you go out to targeted event, like think about every type of networking events you might have in your city or when you're flying out a conference. In that given conference, since there is a given topic that the conference is about, you will have a lot of people that are from your ideal audience or target audience. Now, here's the thing. The point of the content and the videos and the social profiling is that when you're networking with someone and you actually exchange Instagram or you show them your YouTube or you get their phone number or email address, they will be able to get in touch with you automatically because they see your social profile built up. If you go onto my YouTube or my Instagram, you will see a lot of content going out that's constantly nurturing you and making you understand what are the steps you have to do. Why? Because I build online businesses for business owners, coaches, freelancers, agencies, and consultants, and sometimes creators, and I create content about it. I communicate about it. But getting back to networking, like it's so easy to walk up to someone, ask them what their problem is, and understand that, hey, I actually have a solution for you, right? So networking is definitely something that overlooked, but must be done. Now, next up, let's talk about a little bit about outreach. Now, outreach, you can do that in 3 different ways. You can do it in call, email, or DMs. When you're calling someone, you're reaching out, essentially it can be a warm or a cold call. You want to make sure that you make yourself known. That's the point of the outreach. Hey, I'm Roland. I help business owners create high-ticket businesses and online businesses with content and systems. Boom. Obviously, that's not as easy, but that's the point of it, right? So you can do it in cold, email, and DM. When it comes to cold emails or emails in general, you can create different kind of softwares for this. We did not send cold emails for this specific high-ticket business, but do send cold emails for other offers, and they can work very well. Like right now, you have Clay and different kind of email programs that are literally plugging in ChatGPT or an LLM model, an AI model, and scraping the list and scraping the web based on the email list and basically understands who that given cold email is going out to, so you can customize the cold email to the receiver. There are a lot of stuff. But what works very well for us and in the general coaching niche are DMs. Now, obviously, if you're targeting gyms or restaurants, you're not going to be able to DM them, but you're going to be able to call them and ask for the manager or the owner or someone that's in charge. Same with the email. But if you're targeting B2C or people that are already on social media, then DMs work very, very well. You want to make sure when you're reaching out to compliment them, ask them about some, like compliment, hey, I've been seeing your content you're doing, or hey, I see that you run a marathon. So people, like if you read the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People and Win Friends, you understand the framework that needs to be done. Basically, compliment them, ask them a few questions, understand where they're at, try to get a pain point from them, what they're struggling with, and then basically give them value, take them through a solution, and try to get them on a call or show them the product or service that you can help them with. So that is the outreach method that we're using. Now, the best way to get clients is obviously if they come to you, but you have to have a bigger social profile and a very good authority. Before you have that, I mean, you will have that with the content if you're consistent and creating relevant content to your target audience, they will come to you. But until you do, you still have to have your content built out as of like your personal social profile built out. So your Instagram needs to have those VSLs, the videos, the highlights, the bio, and so on. Same with YouTube, you want to have enough content so they can spend time with you and they will actually find you. But until they come to you, you want to go to them. You can go to them with outreach or you can go to them with ads, obviously. Now, when we talk about ads, there are several ways to do ads. I'm not going to go into it too detailed. I'm going to go into it the way we're doing it, or we've done it for this particular offer. It's either follower ads that you're running. Follower ads essentially get target audience to your social profile. And if your content is aligned with their pain points and communicating how you can help, then people in that situation in their lives that need your services will follow you, and then you can start nurturing them, whether it's with DMs, whether it's capturing their emails or by content, and they eventually come to you, or you go to them and tell them about your services. And other ads can be ads that you're running for your lead magnets, your courses, or a book a call funnel or your VSL, right? There are different kind of strategies. For this specific offer, we ran retargeting ads, giving the lookalike of the followers of the given person, and then basically everybody that was within the lookalike audience received the ad about the offer, whether it's through the lead magnet and then scaling them up to a masterclass or a free VSL or a free training or a free course. And then later on, they got onto our email system, the automatic email onboarding. We had 1 month built out, and then we had 3 newsletters going out every week. So it was quite extensive, but that's what you need to do if you want to make money. And then that's how we scaled the offer with ads. Next up, we have one of my favorite. This is what I believe the most important once you want to go on and scale your business. And that is none other than infrastructure. Now, infrastructure is essentially the tech stack, the technological stack that you're using to run your business. And we live in an age where there are a bunch of softwares out there that can help you to scale your business. And basically, this is why it's one of my favorites, because you can automate a lot of tasks with it. And you can go ahead and get clients automatically if you're using the right infrastructures. So in this video, I'm walking you through on the most important funnel that you want to use and that we're using to sell $30,000 a month with different kind of high ticket offers. And the first one that we're talking about are funnels. Now, I'm not going to explain what funnels are, landing pages after each other to make sure that you ascend your audience into your product. The most important funnel that we're using, and I'm going to talk about 2 different funnels. The first one is going to be a VSL funnel, and the second one is going to be a lead magnet funnel. We talked about lead magnet quite a lot. We did not talk about the VSL just yet. So let's start with that. A VSL is a video sales letter. Now that you have your program and now that you have your product and you understand what the product is, a VSL essentially is a trailer video, an introductory video of your services, of your product, of the big promise that you're creating for your client. Now, obviously the VSL has to be scripted. There's a certain element on how to script a VSL. I'm going to create a lot of videos on this, so make sure to go and binge watch my profile because we're creating a lot of VSLs for our clients. But let's look at the funnel aspect. So a VSL funnel essentially is a landing page with the VSL, the video that has been scripted, recorded, edited specifically for this funnel, is basically where you get your leads to go to. So on the top, you have a big headline, usually with the sub-headline. The big headline is the bold claim, like I help you build a $30,000 month high-ticket coaching business without you having to spend $10,000 in ads every month, right? That would be like a bold headline. And basically it's a bold claim. People come in and be like, oh, that's exactly what I need. Why? Because you know your ICP, you have a promise, you have a program, you have the bonuses and testimonials. So you actually know who you're talking to and what you're telling them and why they should listen to you, right? So the VSL funnel, headline, sub-headline, VSL, under video, and under you have the button to book a call. Right under this section, usually this is above the fold, so this is the first section you see when you open the landing page. Under this you have results and testimonials. This entices the viewer that what you're selling and what your program is, what your service is really good, right? We talked about bonuses and testimonials. This is where you place them. This is also where you place them. You place them in the emails, you place them in your Instagram, you place them on your website, because you want to make sure that your people and audience know that you are a 5-star service provider or educator. Now, once you have the first step of the VSL, the point here is to get people to watch that and book a call with you, because usually when you're selling a high-ticket product, people will have questions. They want to see your face, they want to talk to you, they want to talk to your salespeople, and you want to provide that opportunity for them. In order to do that, you also want to make sure that you do not waste your time and your sales team's time. So you want to pre-qualify those people that come through the VSL. So we always build after the VSL a pre-qualification survey that basically has a bunch of questions that they can answer, and based on the answer, if they're qualified, they can go ahead to the next page with the calendar and book a call. If they're not qualified, then we downsell them to a lead magnet, a course, or something to get them qualified, right? You have to have a product from your product ecosystem placed here, so people that are not ready to pay your high ticket can actually get up to speed and learn how to become good enough so you can work with them. Now, this is the essential of a video sales letter funnel. Let's talk about the second funnel that it's quite essential to have, and that is the lead magnet funnel. Now, the lead magnet funnel, we talked about quite a lot about the lead magnet, and the lead magnet funnel serves two purposes. One of them is to obviously provide the lead magnet for your audience, but the second one is to capture their emails, right? So a lead magnet funnel is a lead magnet, whether it's an ebook, a course, a PDF, a guide, a template, whatever, with a little bit of headline, capturing their email and their name, and if you can, their phone numbers, because it's very valuable to have their phone numbers. And then basically, when they input that, you will provide, so they come onto the lead magnet page from your videos, from your content, from your ads, wherever. They provide their email and phone number. You give them the lead magnet in an email, which means that you just suddenly onboarded them onto your email sequence. So you always have one welcome email with the lead magnet, and then you already have them in your in your email ecosystem. They just become a owned subscriber to your email list, right? And that's why you have to have the automations built out, because as soon as somebody is interested in one of your lead magnets, you start nurturing them with the emails. Once they received the lead magnet, you have two options. We call these upsells, or the funnel steps. There are different kind of funnel steps. The point is to get them again to book a call, right? Same as the VSL. You want to tell them that, hey, by the way, I know that you like this lead magnet. We provide XYZ, and since you're interested in this, I'm certain that I can help you with get the promise and the outcome in there. Or what you can do is the OTO, which is basically the one-time offer. So once you have a lead magnet page and they got your lead magnet, that means that that given person is very, very interested in what you have to say, because you're solving the first step of their problem. Remember earlier in the video, we talked about the ascending them with the problems in the problem framework. So now you're solving a problem, and when they click the button, they receive the email. The next page can go and say that, hey, thank you so much for downloading the lead magnet. I assume, or I know that you're going through XYZ, you know the ICP, and you know what lead magnet they actually downloaded. I put together a 20-minute webinar, I put together a 2-hour course, I put together a 17-step framework, I put together whatever for, let's say, $17, $29, that is only available on this single page. You will never find it in my website or in my content. So that will help you do XYZ, right? So basically you're upselling them right away. That means that when you're creating content in your content ecosystem and you're providing the link for your lead magnet in the description or in your bio or with a managed ad automation, they get to the lead magnet, you deliver them free value, but right away you give them the option to start paying you, right? A paying client is always the best client because they already made the first step to provide money for you. And you always want the client to go from new client all the way to becoming a paying client, and then you want to increase the LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer. And then if you have the one-time offer and they happen to buy or not buy, then you put the same book a call funnel in the very end, just because they've already spent some money with you, they already have the confidence or the trust towards you, or they started developing it. So you want to make sure you get them on a call, or you provide them with the upsell to your service or high ticket offer or program. This is the second most important funnels that we're using, and it's very essential for you to have and use, because essentially even when you're sleeping, your content will be providing value for other people. So essentially think of it as a digital real estate. The content you create once is going to go ahead and deliver a lot of value to people, and if you have the infrastructure set up, it's going to deliver not only value but also make money for you and actually continuously get your sales team to work and take calls and sell your high ticket program. Because if you think about it, this $30K per month really is 10 sales of $3,000 or 5 sales of $6,000, you know? Or if you do a 6K offer with a 3 times 2K payment plan, so over 3 months they have to do 2K, that means 15 sales per month, and you have 30K recurring for the next 3 months. So a lot of the times, the biggest hurdle to jump for our clients is the mindset that they can actually deliver a high ticket program or a high ticket service, and they want to stack the value and stack the proof in themselves that they can do it. And obviously this is not a question if you're already doing it, but you know, people that are starting out, transitioning from 9 to 5 or transitioning from a lower ticket business, usually that's the first hurdle that they want to jump, and we help them jump that over. But it really is not that hard to get to that 30K level if you have the systems. So this video is getting long, so let's just jump on to the next one. You understand the funnels and the most important funnels that you want to have in your business in order to get to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 months with your agency, freelancing business, consulting, or coaching business. And the next one that I want to talk about is the sales CRM. Now, obviously, I've had a lot of experience with online marketing and digital sales. I've built quite a lot of companies. I've bought and sold companies for raised millions of dollars. And you always have a CRM in a big company, right? You have an inventory management system, you have a client retention management system. You want to make sure that you understand where things are in your business. Most of the people, coaches, do not realize that they have to keep track of leads and their audience in order for them to engage them at the best time. And that's exactly what a sales CRM does. Like, you have an audience, or you have a viewer that is completely new, and then you have the backend product, which is your high ticket product, and you want to make sure that this guy gets there as soon as possible. Now, how do we get them here as soon as possible? Well, you're getting the gist of it, I hope, soon, via Send Them, right? You want to make sure that you know who are the people that downloaded your lead magnets. You want to understand who are the people that bought your front-end product. You want to understand which people are qualified in the survey but didn't book a call. Who are people that actually booked a call, and who are people that have been closed. And then you can obviously go on and who are unqualified, and then but the downsell, who are people that are a no-go because they're, you know, stupid or not a good fit, whatever. And then you want to make sure that you're aware where your audience is in your business. If you don't know that, then how are you thinking to reach out to them? You know, if they bought the lead magnet, you're going to send them emails regarding a new lead magnet, or you understand that they opened the emails and downloaded that thing, then you're going to bombard them and give them more value you where they're at. You know, if they qualified, that means they already took the step. They went through your VSL or your lead magnet, but your front-end product, so they actually know who you are. They just might have something going on in their life. So you want to go ahead and give them a call. Give them a special offer. Get them on a call with your sales team or yourself if you're the closer. If they booked a call but didn't show up and they're a no-show, then you want to make sure that you remind them, and then you have the system to remind them. Basically, this is what the sales CRM system does. It makes sure that you can track your audience to customer and everything in between. You want to make sure that from cold leads, you get people to become warm and warm and warmer. Next up, after the CRM, in the infrastructure section, we have something that I'm totally in love with, and my team is also in love with. We love to do them, just like everything else, and that is none other than automations. Probably everything that I'm saying, I hope it makes sense, because first of all, I love to talk about it, done it many times before, and I'm very passionate about it. Probably you see it. But no matter how passionate you are about something, you will want to make sure that you use technology and softwares so you can actually outsource some of these tasks that you have to be doing in your business. And when it comes to automations, I've already talked about the email sequences, right? Like, email sequences are one of these that you can automate, and basically it starts nurturing your audience. Now, you can also automate text messages. People that I've talked about the phone numbers, people that have given you their phone numbers, you might want to, give them a text here and there. Do not be pushy with this, because texts are like, first of all, they have a very high open rate, because if you have a text, you don't want the little bubble there, you're gonna open it. But you have to be very delicate on how to send text messages, because it's within the private, the privacy area. So you only want to notify them of very important stuff, like your new webinar coming up, or hey, I've seen you haven't opened the book. Make sure to open it, because it's going to help you a lot. Stuff like that. Don't overdo it, right? But you can automate it. You can also automate reminders. Hey, you have a call in 24 hours. We have a webinar in 24 hours, in 12 hours, in 1 hour. Hey, the webinar is live now. Hey, the replay is available, right? That's a typical sequence that we usually automate, because you have to do it once and then you can reuse it for later, your webinars, your promos, your different kind of sales cycles, or anything you want. Now, another really cool automation that I love comes from, and we actually use this in this specific offer that I'm presenting, is the short form content. I'm gonna just delete this here. So it's basically the short form content with a CTA. DM me the word XYZ, you've probably seen that. We had a software called ManyChat that we implemented. When they DM the word, let's say info, automatically a message goes out. We get their email address, and then not only they received the lead magnet on Instagram, but they also get onboarded to our email sequence, right? So that's an automation that anytime somebody goes on your profile, on your Instagram profile, and they're like, DM you the word because they've seen something enticing or a good video, boom, it takes care of them. They're already in your ecosystem. They will start looking at your YouTube videos. They will start receiving your emails. They will start receiving your messages, and you will be on their mind. So when they're ready, they will come to you to buy the services or the products. And basically, the next one that I love to automate is the entire email process, right? Now, one way to automate the email process, you cannot really automate the newsletters, but you can automate pretty much everything else. The onboarding sequence, then the sales sequences, you can automate the different kind of offer sequences, open carts, and so on. And regarding the newsletters, what I really love and what we've done with in this business is we've sent out 3 newsletters every week, and then you see the open rate. Open rate means how many, like out of 100, how many people open it. If it's 50 people open it, then you have a 50% open rate. And the highest open rates or click-through rates, that's another very important measurement, is basically people that open the email, and if there's a link, they actually click on it, right? Because that's what usually leads to a sale or ascension to your product ecosystem. Open rate and click-through rate. The ones with the highest click-through rate and open rate will be added to the onboarding sequence, right? Why? Because you're testing a lot of new emails, a lot of new subjects, headlines, email flows, content, storytelling, open hooks, all that stuff in the copy. And then whatever works, well, you just put it into the onboarding sequence. Why? Because you know that it will be automated, and something that is actually highly engaging will be automated to your sequence. Now, this is how we built a $30,000 a month high-ticket business using the OCI framework, where we help you build out the offer. We help out to refine your communication, your content, to make sure that you're seen and you have different kind of touch points, both with videos, emails, and different kind of lead magnets. This is how we help our clients build their infrastructures, understanding funnels, CRM systems, managing CRM systems, coaching and helping them with the sales cycle and the CRM, and actually building out the automations or coaching them with the automations depending on what kind of clients we work with. And this is how we're scaling people from $5,000, $10,000 months all the way to $30,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months with our offer infrastructure or like with our processes. I really hope that this video was helpful. If you're about to start your coach, freelancing business, agency, or you're a consultant, lawyer, doctor, and you want to create your digital business, or you're a coach and you're training people for fitness, or you're a dance teacher and you want to help people become more confident, or any of the above, or you're a content creator, then basically we teach you and help you build out all these frameworks to make sure that you can succeed in your life and succeed in your business, and also be ready to move out to Bali and be able to live the life that you really want to live and run the business that you really want to run. So I was Roland Bernath. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Creators League, and I work with a lot of people that create their lives, their businesses. And if you need help, we're here. You will see the link in the description. Make sure to leave a comment, give me a like or a subscribe, and get in touch if I can help you anyhow. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.